break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life.
Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to record today's video talking about my next car, how much it's going to cost, all the parts I'd like to get for it, and my game plan on how to save up for this new project. I am going to buy a boring old Infiniti G35, something like one of these, and turn it into this. This is a kit car for the Infiniti G35, and there are a ton of ways to build this car, and ton of different costs depending on how you want to build the car. I've seen several videos online talking about how much the car costs to build, but these are the parts that I like to do specifically for my car. I am so excited about this. It's going to be so cool and so much fun to build this car. So the first part I want to talk about is the Vaydor kit itself. You can find that on carolinavaydor.com, and they have two different types, the coupe and the convertible. I'm going to go with the coupe version, but it literally comes with everything. It comes with all the front bumper, rear bumper, side skirts, doors, rear wing. The roll cage goes inside of the car as well. And another thing I'm going to be getting is the vertical scissor doors. I guess everybody who's ever done one of these builds gets the scissor door kit, so might as well just keep on going with that. Plus, I think they look really cool. And another thing you can actually get to is interior kits. For the coupe, it's about, or either one, again, it's the same price, $5,500 for one of those. This is actually one of the parts that I'm not going to do with the car, because I would like to get a supercharger kit instead, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But there's some parts where I'm like, don't want to do that to save some money, so we can put it towards other parts for the car. So next thing, which is a very important part of the car, is the wheels. And this is one of those areas where I'm actually going to be going on the cheaper side again. Not necessarily like cheaper quality, but I'm going to be going with on the used market for a set of wheels. If you're getting a brand new set of wheels for the Vaydor kit, it's about $6,000. And if you go on the used marketplace, for Facebook Marketplace, you can find them anywhere for about $1,500 to $3,000 for still a good set of wheels, but people just want to try and find something different. I found these ones for $1,500. They look fantastic. Got a good tread on the wheels. Probably can't tell that picture too well since they're black wheels. Another thing I don't want to go with is black wheels. Not a fan of black, so we'll have to figure out a different color for that. One of the things that can really complement the wheels is a set of brakes, and I'm going to be going with the 4-piston calipers on the front of the car, also on the rear, so it's going to be the same braking power on the front of the car and the rear of the car. And we have these rotors going to be getting, for the pair, it's $650, so multiply that times 2, it's about $1,300. Next was the brake pads, and again, it's multiply times 2. Luckily, they're a little bit on the cheaper side. Depending on what types you get, this one is $68, so multiply that times 2, it's about $140. And also want to get some brake lines, some steel brake lines for the kit. I wanted to use this car as like a track car, so having the right brake lines to go with that will really help out with stopping, especially if the brakes are getting a lot hotter. I'm not actually sure what color I want to make the car yet, so that's actually one of the things we have to go with. There's tons of options. They all look great. I've always liked white cars. My current car is a white car. My last car was a dark green color. Looked amazing. I was kind of leaning more so towards like a dark purple maybe. But looking at all these colors, it's like, they would all look so cool. So it's really hard for me to choose on that. But paint is another thing. I actually haven't priced out paint. I put it down on the list as $1,000. I'm not sure if that's actually a correct number to go with there. Obviously, the steel brake lines, multiply that times 2, it's another $220. And then talked about the Lambo door kit. I love the way the Lambo doors just complement the car. It just sits so pretty. And next thing we need to talk about is an actual car in order to build this project onto. So the Infiniti G35 is what we're looking at, and they range anywhere between $800 and $5,000 depending on the condition of the car. And I'm looking at one for right about the $2,000 range, something that's kind of lower mileage but maybe doesn't run. Reason being is because I also want to get an Infiniti G37 that's going to be wrecked, and I want to use the engine, transmission, drivetrain, all the insides of the G37 to put into the G35. Main reason is because the G35 has about 290 horsepower, G37 has 350 horsepower, and when you put a supercharger onto the car like I'd like to do, you'll get an extra, extra 50, 60 horsepower just on starting on the baseline to really ramp up that top performance. Next, one of the upgrades I want to do is a set of camshafts, and all you actually need are the exhaust camshafts for the car. The intake camshafts are so good at what they do already, they're self-adjusting and everything, that all you actually need are the exhaust camshafts, which is kind of cool. And when you upgrade these guys, you get an extra 36 pound-feet of torque and an extra 22 horsepower, so really ramps up. Again, even before putting a supercharger on, we're already getting some more horsepower for the car. And next I want to just get spark plugs. I looked up GTR spark plugs. I'm not sure if those are the ones we should use or should not use, but either way, for the G37 or the GTR, they're both like $9 a piece, $8.50 a piece. So all in all, it's like 51 bucks. And the camshaft set, by the way, is $860. Then also wanted to talk about the exhaust system. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work because it's a G37 engine, but it's a G35 body, so I'm not sure if it'll actually, like, I know it'll fit on the engine, no problem, but I'm not sure how it'll fit on the body of the car when it's actually working there. I'm not sure if the G37 and the G35 have the same lengths for everything, but I just looked up the G37 exhaust. We have the high flow catalytic converters, we have the mid-pipe section, and then we also have the resonated short tails. I have all this same system on my car except for the mid-pipe, and the car sounds fantastic. I absolutely love it. I would love to get the mid-pipe section for my current car, but I think we'll just wait for the Vaydor kit. Now we get into the really fun part, the Stillin supercharger kit. So cool. It's so many parts. It looks crazy. This kit is $7,300, $7,400 for this kit, and the exhaust is $2,000. In case you're keeping track on everything, I'll have the whole list at the very end. The Stillin supercharger kit, $7,400. At first, I thought this was just a supercharger kit, but as you can see, there's tons of pieces here. This comes with the injectors, and it's everything for the fuel system. So injectors, fuel pump, everything is already ready to upgrade for the Stillin supercharger kit. It also comes with the tuning components for tuning the car to make sure that it can actually run the supercharger on the car. So that was really cool. There's tons of different kits you can look at for this car. And I was expecting to pay anywhere from like $2,500 to $3,500 for a clutch kit. This is stage 4, good for 500 horsepower, or actually I think it's like 560 horsepower and about 500 torque. And crazy thing is, instead of being like $2,500, $3,500, this kit is only $334. And it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like it shouldn't work at all, but I do have the Stage 3 kit on my car. Works fantastic. And then next I want to get an oil cooler kit. The biggest issue with the G37s and 370Zs is they overheat when you take them onto the track. And the Vaydor is something I'd like to take to the track, do some different track days, have some fun with it. But after like two or three laps, if you're really romping on the car starts to overheat. And coilovers, I'm not quite sure which coilovers I want to go with. I had the price at about $1,000 for a set of coilovers. They range anywhere between, so here's the funny thing, you can get a set of coilovers for $250 for this car. Now obviously I do not want to go that cheap on a set of coilovers. I was thinking right about that $1,000 range, because they range anywhere from $250 up to like $3,000, $4,000. Along with the coilovers, if you're lowering the car at all, you have to get the rear camber arms, the front camber arms, and the tow arms for the rear if you're doing all that. And so each set of those is $200. And the last couple things that I want to get for the car is a slave cylinder upgrade kit. So the stock slave cylinder for the G37, G35 is made of plastic, and if you upgrade the clutch in any way, it can ruin the slave cylinder, and then you no longer have a clutch. So if you upgrade this one, it's made of all metal, and it's actually the component to replace, if it ever needs to be replaced, is on the outside of the transmission, so you don't have to drop the transmission to replace the stock slave cylinder. I got this installed on my car, and it was very easy installation, as long as you're following the directions correctly. and it's a $500 upgrade. Definitely worth it. A sleeve cylinder, one of the stock ones, I think it's like 125 or 150 for a plastic one. If you replace that 3 or 4 times, you're already up at $500 anyway. So definitely one of the upgrades I would like to do. And then another thing, I am not sure what exactly we'll need, but I'm sure we'll need some sort of tools. I put an extra $1,000 down in the cost of everything, just because there might be some different tools we have to buy in order to get some stuff. Maybe a paint gun. Maybe I forgot about a part somewhere, so I added an extra $1,000 just in miscellaneous. Maybe we need some parts or some tools. Maybe some parts that we missed out on or something. So I believe that's everything for the kit. So now, how are we going to save up for this? There's a lot of videos I've kind of watched on the Vaydor project and how much it costs, and they would say it ranges anywhere between $35,000 to $45,000, depending on what kind of upgrades you want to do to the car, and how fast you want it to be, if you want to do an engine swap, all those different things. And originally, when I was thinking about this project, I wanted it to be about $40,000 for the project. And when I came up with all these different parts and looking at everything, I think it came up to like $50,000, and I was like, shoot, that's going to take longer for me to save up for in order to get the car. But all in all, if you add up all these parts for the project, we're looking at a total of $42,500 for everything. So it's a little bit over what I was originally planning on, but there was a couple things that I hadn't actually calculated into the total cost. So a lot better than $50,000 and just a little bit more than 40, but definitely still doable. I'm pretty sure in my last video I talked about pretty much all the parts that I wanted to do for the Vaydor project. I'm pretty sure I left out a few of them, so I'm pretty confident we got all of them this time. But the main goal for this video is I really wanted to show how I'm going to save up $42,500 in order to get the car. So the reason I think this is going to take 5 years in order to complete the savings goal for getting this project is because, first off, how much money I make, and second, I actually want to do a savings plan for the project car, and I also want to do more savings and investing towards retirement. I just turned 30 this past August, and I realized I really don't have a lot of saved up for retirement. And I've done different Dave Ramsey courses. I've learned a lot of stuff in previous jobs about it's really important to save. It's really important to save and stuff. And I just never really saved after all those different talks. So my goal is to kind of do. My original goal was to do more like a 50-50 savings, where I save 50% towards the car, and the other 50% that I could save for the car, I'm going to put towards retirement stuff. And if you do some quick calculations here, right fast, I make about $30,000 a year at my job. So over 5 years, do some simple math, that's $150,000 that I'd be making in 5 years. So $150,000, that's if I saved every single penny. That's what I'd have after 5 years, which obviously I have other expenses that needs to come out of that money in order just to survive, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to make that unless I actually spent some of that money on some of those things. So first off, I am a Christian, and one of the things that I believe in doing is giving a tithe, which is 10%, to local church, just helping to build up the church, build up the Christian faith and everything. It's something I've done ever since I got my first job, ever since I was a kid, and it's really just kind of a habit over the years. And like I said, that's just 10% of what I make every single week, every single month, year, whatever. So if you subtract that out of the $150,000, that's $15,000 right there. Over 5 years, it would be subtracted out for that. So $135,000 is what we would have after that. I've also found that I can live off of $12,000 a year. So if you calculate that up after 5 years, it's about $60,000. So subtract another $60K off of the $135, leaves us with $75,000 that we should have towards saving for the car and also for putting towards retirement. And so, like I said, it's not quite a 50-50 savings goal there, because if you subtract the $42,500, that's going to be $32,500 we'd have towards putting towards retirement. Now, if you talk to anybody who's done any sort of investing and that sort of thing, if you were to put $32,500 away in like a 401k or some sort of investing, maybe like a Roth IRA or something, over those 5 years, that's going to put you in a really good track of just basically retiring on time, especially with me being 30 years old. I'm looking to maybe retire, 65, 70, like on time instead of working until I'm 80, 85, or 125 years old, whatever, whatever the case would be there. Investing is one of those things I could talk about a lot of. It's just such an important thing to do when you start young. Again, a lot of people talked to me when I was younger about investing, and I just never really did it. I wanted my cool car, my 350Z. I wanted my G37. I wanted all these other different things that I've purchased over the years. And now that I'm kind of hit that old mark, I feel like I really tried to focus my money more towards retiring and everything. That's actually one of the things. So I don't want to buy anything. None of the Vaydor parts, none of these parts. I don't want to buy anything up until I have the $42,500 saved up. And the reason being is because what if they stop making the Vaydor? What if I'm like buying all this stuff individually, part by part, and then they stop making the Vaydor kit? I can't find a G35 anymore, and all of a sudden we can't do the project anymore. So my goal is to save all the way up until that time, 5 years, and in that time, if something else pops up, or the Vaydor kit, maybe they come out with an even cooler kit, like the Vaydor G37 kit. I don't know, maybe a little better or something. I know there's actually another kit called the Valera. Holy crap, this car looks amazing. I think there's only like 1 or 2 of them out there. Like, they're very, very rare, because they're just now coming out with the kit. But that would be so cool to have. It'd probably be way more expensive because Corvettes are just more expensive in general. But I mean, maybe this would be the kit to get after 5 years of saving up. So things could change in the 5 years time, but I will just have to figure out. But the more we keep doing these videos, the more excited I get to have the Vaydor kit. I mean, this car looks so cool. It reminds me of a supercar, hypercar, whatever. But instead of paying, hypercar, supercar costs, you get it for $42,500, hypothetically speaking, as long as everything goes well with the savings plan and everything. Really excited to think about what kind of wheels we're going to be getting, what color the car we want it to be, what color the wheels we want it to be. So many cool things that are happening with this car, guys. So I'm really excited. Hope you guys are as well. And if you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment. What do you guys think about the kit? What do you guys think a cool color would be? Color combo? Maybe with like the body and the wheels combo. Do you think I should do a wing on the car? That's another thing. I think it comes with the wing, but should I do a wing? Because I've seen them with the wing and without. So there's tons of different options we can do this car. So, but stay tuned for no more videos. We're coming out with some more. Talk to you later.
Game face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise, you can hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'ma ride or die for my dreams on tap. I'ma fly real high, you ain't see me slack. No, it's not how you fall, it's how you get right back up. That's how you get tough. Calluses on my hands so rough, yeah, I call your bluff. I'm not the one, mess with me, come out with none, cause I'm so done.